feel paralyzed.
Wasn't it? There we go. Turn my mic on now. All right, welcome to round 2 of the Michigan GT. We have an interesting match this round. We have a mirror match, which we don't usually. What's up? Yeah, looks right. Thank you. We have a mirror match, which we don't normally get to see on stream. I had picked one of these players last round because I wanted to get some Thousand Suns on stream. Just so happened that the Thousand Suns players are playing each other. So, you know, we get to see some Thousand Sun on Thousand Suns violence. So it should be pretty interesting. I have no idea what Thousand Suns do. I haven't played against new Thousand Suns yet. So I'm going to get to be learning during this match with you guys as we kind of get to see the new codex on full display here. So it should be very fun and interesting. Let's go ahead and go through the list. So we have, which person was this? To make sure I have the actual right person's list up. So Arden is bringing a Cult of Duplicity detachment with 2 additional relics. He has an Exalted Sorcerer with Glamour of Tzeentch, Presage, Baleful Devolution, and Lord of Forbidden Lore, as well as Eglane's Ori. Then we have a Demon Prince with 3 Cabal points, Twist of Fate, Swelled by the Warp, Undying Form, and the Conniving Plate. This is a Flying Demon Prince. So we have 3 minimum units of Rubric Marines, each with a Soul Reaper cannon. Then we have a unit of Scarab Occult Terminators. The Scarab Sorcerer has Desecration of Worlds. Let's see. Oh, we have different spells on all the Rubric Marines. So one of the Rubric Marines knows Empiric Guidance, one of them knows Temporal Manipulation, and one of the Rubric Marine units knows Weaver of Fates. The Terminators know Desecration of Worlds, and they also have a Soul Reaper cannon. And we have 2 individual fast attack Chaos Spawns. Then we have a Cult of Time detachment, Cult of Time Patrol, where we have Ahriman with Gaze of Hate, Tzeentch's Firestorm, and Cacodemonic Curse on a Disc of Tzeentch. And then we have an Infernal Master with Bladed Maelstrom, Weaver of Fates, Malefic Maelstrom, and the Umbralific Crystal. We have a unit of Zangors. We have another unit of Scarab Occult Terminators. This one with, let's see, Temporal Surge on the Sergeant. And then we have 2 Soul Reaper cannons here. Then we have 2 Forge Fiends on Arden's side, both with heavy Hades autocannons. Alright, so now we look at Cam's list. And Cam, clicked the wrong button. There we go. Let's see, so Cam also has a Cult of Duplicity detachment. This one has Ahriman and the Infernal Master and the Duplicity instead of the Cult of Time. Ahriman on this list, there's Doombolt, Presage, and Temporal Surge. The Infernal Master has 2 Cabal points. It has Glamour of Tzeentch, Capering Imps, and Malefic Maelstrom. He's a Master of Misinformator. And then the Thousand Suns Demon Prince has 3 Cabal points, Gaze of Hate, Tzeentch's Firestorm, Undying Form, and Wings. We have a 5-man unit of Rubric Marines with Icon of the Flame. No Soul Reaper autocannons here. Their sergeant is Weaver of Fate, so we have 2 cultist units, minimum squads, and then a minimum Zangor unit. For elites, we have 2 Scarab Occult units. Both of them have a Hellfire missile rack and 2 Soul Reaper cannons, so very similar to the Terminator units we saw on the other side. But the spice, and this is why I had picked Cam, because I wanted to see something cool. Cam's bringing some spice today. Cam has a Chaos Fire Raptor gunship with 2 quad heavy bolters and 2 twin strike hell launchers, or 2 twin hell strike launchers. So whichever way you cut it, we got some spice. We got some Forge Fiends, which you don't get to see all the time. We got some Fire Raptor gunships, which you don't get to see all the time. And we are here today to put some spice on this tournament. We're here to sprinkle a little salt and seasoning, put some of that that Thousand Suns pepper spice on this tournament. We're gonna have some fun with this, so this should be fun. I'm really excited to see this. I always love it when people do well with fun stuff on the board, when they have a list that's not, you know, your stock, this is how you win every tournament list. I love to see the cool models. I love to see the stuff from Forge World. So I think it's going to be a good time. I already got information from our table judge that we are, for 3 CP, putting that flyer in Deep Strike. We are going to make sure that flyer gets to shoot before it dies. So that Fire Raptor is going to come on turn 2 like the cavalry that it is. And we'll get to see the results of the Fire Raptor swooping down onto the opposing Thousand Suns. So should be a fun match today. Real excited to see this. I haven't gotten to see a lot from Thousand Suns. I've had crazy last couple weeks with you know, real life and 40K and work all kind of combining together at the same time. So real excited to get to see Thousand Suns in action, to see just what they're capable of. Should be a really interesting game. I'm going to assume both these players are probably aware of all the Thousand Suns tricks, so they're probably not going to get got by the other person. They both kind of know what's coming, as opposed to maybe me, if I was playing against Thousand Suns right now, having never seen them before. You know, I'd probably get caught surprised by some stuff. So it should be very interesting to see both of them know what's going on. Go ahead, and I want to go ahead and hype our sister stream today. We got a dual stream here at Michigan GT this weekend. We are running 2 undefeated tables simultaneously on stream. So we have a Death or Glory member, Anthony Hilla, on table 2, or on the other stream. And Anthony this round, let me get a look, I'll tell you guys what he's playing. I know Anthony's got his Necrons, and they're really well painted. And apparently the other player he's playing against has a really sweet painted army too. So we got Daniel Willward against Anthony Hilla over on the other stream. Daniel's playing Blood Angels, man after my own heart, because I love me some Blood Angels. This is my main army. So if you want to see some Blood Angels on Necrons, go to the other stream we have going. It is War Games Live. War Games Live over on YouTube. Check them out. Give them that like, follow, subscribe. You know, have both games up. Have one on one monitor, one on the other. Check them out all through the day. You know, mute one, listen to the other. Just kind of get a feel for what's going on today. It should be a good time. While you're over there giving War Games Live that like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, please make sure you do that to us as well. We got our YouTube link and socials. I'll go ahead and link that here. We're trying to get, and I think War Games is doing the same thing, trying to just get some of these channels off the ground so that people can kind of see them pop up on their homepage. Just, you know, let them, so people can kind of see what we're doing. So if you have a moment while you're on YouTube today to hit like, follow, subscribe for War Games Live and Death or Glory, we'd all appreciate it. Really help us start getting those channels growing, and we can reach a greater community. Let them know just how good the wargaming is here in the Midwest. All right. So go ahead and talk about secondaries. It looks like both teams are not taking any Thousand Suns secondaries here. I'm not really intimately familiar with the Thousand Suns secondaries, but I'm willing to guess that probably means they're psychic related, and they're worried that the other person could interact with that too much, and they just don't want to risk it. So both players have taken Assassinate as their, you know, Thousand Suns play a little bit of Hero Hammer, as you can hear from the list we were just reading. Both have a large number of spellcasters in their list, so Assassinate makes sense. Petra. Is your like phone in your pocket or anything?
No.
It just we keep getting random ones.
I've noticed it doing that on my, like, whenever I'm, like, scrolling down. I think what's happening is, like, sometimes whenever I press, like, another field, it still has the previous field selected. So then it'll, like, add it to another thing that I was just on or removed.
Okay. I'll try to let you know if I see it, but obviously I don't know what's going on there.
Whenever I catch it, but yeah, I'll just be, like, scrolling down and I'll see, like, 11 points somewhere. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to let you know. So, let's see. Cam has taken Assassinate, Engage on all fronts, and Retrieve Octarius data. So he's definitely got the list where he's not as worried about interacting. He's going to try to do his own thing, get his data points, get engaged, which should be pretty. I mean, he's going to get at least one turn of good engage with that Fire Raptor gunship, maybe two. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. He's going to spread the board. Arden going for another version of the I don't want to interact very hard. I want to get my points. So he's going for behind enemy lines and raise the banners. I'm not going to lie, that's an interesting combination of things, I feel like. There is, let me make sure I'm remembering correctly. Behind enemy lines is specifically deployment zones, right? Make sure I'm not crazy. This is deployment zones or table edges? I'm pretty sure it's deployment zones. Deploy enemy or behind enemy lines. Yeah, deployment zones. So the thing that I find that interesting for is that these are small deployment zones. These are table quarters. So there's not a lot of like space to spread out to do behind enemy lines. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but I find that interesting to pick the behind enemy lines when there's, you know, only one table quarter. Maybe the thought is because you start so close to the enemy deployment zone that you can easily just barely get inside the part that's closest to you. So maybe he's thinking about it from that way. I'll be interested to see what happens there. Raise the banners I also find interesting because there is only one objective in Arden's deployment zone that he gets guaranteed to put a banner on. Now you can put 4 banners down if he goes first. That's probably pretty easy. But it seems like you're kind of like rolling the dice that you're going to get to go first, which I feel like is kind of odd. I don't personally normally like to go raise the banners unless I feel like I'm guaranteed 2 minimum. So, you know, I don't play Thousand Suns. Maybe Arden has a plan for this. Maybe Arden has a reason that he's picked these 2 secondaries with his list. I'm sure he understands his list far better than I ever could. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. Should be a very interesting game for sure. All right, we're getting some information from our table judge here. Let's see what's going on.
Do you want me to be telling you when things drop, or can you see it?
I don't know what half this stuff is in this one. I don't know these armies. So any extra information, like if certain spells do things, you don't have to tell me that they're casting it, but if you tell me what a spell did, that would be useful.
I'll give you a short description. I also don't know.
Yeah, I don't know Thousand Suns at all. So.
Is this chair being used?
I'm sorry?
Is this chair being used?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, I'm going to snag it real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, trying to fix my screen here real quick. Whatever this is needs to go away. All right, I'm trying to fix this, guys, and I'm worried I'm going to make it worse. I'm doing my best.
What are you trying to fix?
I want to get rid of the I have 2 cameras showing, and I want to delete one, but then it's like, do you really want to delete this? And I'm like, I don't actually know. It could ruin everything.
This person doesn't work.
What?
We need to recruit this person because of their army.
I mean, that looks really cool. That's not how we recruit people.
Steel and pink.
It's what?
It's steel and pink. And it's matching the colors for this year.
Well, it's not white,
But it's steel and pink.
but it needs to be white also.
So awesome.
All right, so Arden, we're getting word from our table judge, has some conversions. I think we're seeing one in the back saying the big beetle-looking things in this list are going to be Chaos Spawn, and the flying beetle is a Demon Prince. So I think we see in that top right corner some things that look kind of beetle-like. So those are some Kit Bash and converted Chaos Spawn and Demon Princes. So we'll keep that in mind. So it looks like Cam, let's see, Petra, is this Cam and that's Arden?
Yeah.
This is Cam on my side? Arden's closest to me? Cam's on the other side. Okay. All right, so I had it backwards because I thought the beetles were over there. Where are the beetle things? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so what's happening is my camera's inverted from the table. That's why I wasn't sure. Okay. But I thought that was what the Beatles were, but then when I had the players wrong, I would make sure. All right.
Do you want me to flip the players?
No. Okay. We're fine. It's just, I just need to spatially reason that in my head.
I was thinking about that too, especially since both of them are the same army.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get super confused. This is going to be hilarious because I'm going to be confused the whole time. Cool. Okay, so we got Demon Prince moving up to where he's mostly obscured. Even if he's not obscured, he'll have some what is it? Not bodyguard. Lookouts that are going on. So it looks like Arden has put his large Terminator brick in the ruins. It looks like Cam, Cam doesn't have as many power armor guys. He's got the 2 big Terminator units. It looks like I see one of them in the back left. I don't think he's got both of them down. He's got the 1 unit of Rubric Marines, which I think is probably in the middle on that objective with some cultists. All right, there we see another Demon Prince next to one of the Forge Fiends. Oh, right between the 2 Mauler Fiends. So on Arden's side, from right to left, we have the Chaos Spawn, the Zangors, and the Rubrics. The building has both of the Scarab Termies. The Chaos Spawn, the Rubrics, the Exalted Sorcerer, and the Infernal Sorcerer. Or did Arden have... Yeah, Arden had 2 units of Terminators. Cam just has 2 bigger units. Arden has 1 minimum and 1 slightly larger unit. Okay? I'm really interested in seeing these Mauler Fiends. I've always thought they look really sweet, and I'm excited to see, or they're Forge Fiends, not Mauler Fiends. Shirty ones are Forge Fiends. I'm excited to see what they get to do. Let's pull up, let's see if I can find them on like Wahapedia. All right. All right. That did not come up. That's regular Forge Fiends. I need the Thousand Suns Forge Fiends. All right. So we have the Heavy Hades autocannon. They have 2 of those. So we're gonna have 8 shots at strength 8, AP2, 2 damage. Seems pretty good. So that's, a reasonable amount of downfield fire. It's not too expensive, 135 points a model. Not bad at all. I wanna look at did they change all his dust? That's what I want to know. Do we even still have all his dust? They have malicious volleys, teleport strike. Those are normal. Let's see. Kabbalistic rituals. Okay. So we got all these cool things. Yeah, I guess they don't have all his dust anymore. Or maybe they're just on these guys. Let's check the Rubric Marines. Oh yeah, it's just on the power armor guys. That's my bad. So damage 1, add 1 to the saving throw. All right, yeah, so that's not going to do shit against the Forge Fiends or the Fire Raptor. So both of these guys have some good shooting that's going to be able to power through the armored Thousand Suns without much resistance. All right, so so it looks like Arden went first. Arden got a turn to or roll to go first. He got the prayer offer +1 strength on the Chaos Terminators. So we'll see what's going on. Now the downside to that is that Cam going second has the Chaos Raptor, which the main downside is that going second with it off the table in reserves, we're going to have a much harder time getting its value because he's going to get 2 turns to put shots into the primary bulk of Cam's army before the Chaos Fire Raptor can show up to give some backup. So we'll see what kind of damage Arden can do before Cam's bird swoops in from the skies. Hello, hello.
Is this Heidi's riding?
Looks like it could be. What's up?
You know where she's at? I can't find this person in the BCPI.
Is there any Ryan?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those aren't very close.
And that last name, I can only get S and it stops.
We'll see if I can summon her.
Right here.
Okay, yeah, she was just walking around. Yeah. All right, so we're seeing the benefits of the Chaos Spawn here. Chaos Spawn are booking it out, heading for those side objectives. Doesn't look like it quite made it there. There could be some other shenanigans, we'll see. It's not easy to get to those side objectives on the first turn, for sure. There's a lot of things that are out there. And Arden was a bit more conservative with his deployment than it looked like Cam was, so he started slightly further away. I mean, I would love to have company. I would also love hot dogs. I don't know. You want to get lunch? Do what?
Which of those would you prefer more?
What are you hungry? Yeah, that's fine. We'll make do. Oh, that's right. You got to eat already.
I got French fries.
Yeah, but that's enough for you. No, if you want to come sit down, I will be glad to have someone to talk to. We have a Thousand Suns mirror match, and I don't know anything about this army.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. There's only one person without a score, so it's like it's got to
Process of elimination.
The cookies have gotten grease all over my paper.
Uh-oh. I apologize.
Maybe we put it on the plastic bag over there.
Let's do that. So oh yeah, this guy is the one with the really awesome looking scarab stuff. I wish.
Yeah, so he's got a bunch of converted things.
Yeah. Is there any way to close up on it, or?
Yeah. There's the camera. You want me to? Do you want to go move it for a moment, or do you want me to? You know what you trust me to do it more?
I don't know how to zoom.
No, I'm just gonna move that camera where it can see everything.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I will be right back. We're gonna get some close-ups.
Definitely something that you guys are going to want to see close up. He's got some really beautiful conversions where with a demon prince that actually looks like a large scarab with chaos symbols in gold. And there are some chaos spawn as well that are done in a similar vein on a smaller scale.
All right, let's see if this worked. All right. We're gonna move that camera out of the shot.
Oh, the close-up camera is actually in the shot.
All right, so we can maybe get some other shots later if there's when they coalesce into the middle of the table. But yeah, he's got some real cool looking shit. I really like his conversions. Those aren't even like I don't know if those are third party or if he did like some sculpting. Those are pretty intense.
And the chaos symbols that are on the backs in gold are just freaking perfect.
Yeah, everything looks really good. All right, so both Chaos Spawn advanced out to try to get objectives, but this is like what I talked about earlier. So Cam, the player with the nice painted army, took Raise the Banners.
Okay.
This is a table quarter deployment.
Okay.
So you only get to be guaranteed one objective on your first turn. You could go to the middle, but then you're close to the enemy.
Yep.
But both those Chaos Spawn advanced, and even advancing didn't get to the other objective. So
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I'm questioning the Raise the Banners because, like, what if you didn't go first? You definitely wasn't going to do it.
So yeah, Scarab Occult Terminators don't have a whole lot of movement, if I remember correctly.
No, I mean, I think they have regular Terminator movement, like 5 or 6 inches. Where did my mouse go?
Yeah.
Let's see. Like the Chaos Spawn are like 8 inches, I think.
Yeah, they have some decent movement.
But that was not going to get there.
Right.
Not to put a banner down.
And they aren't super survivable either.
Yeah.
I remember they just have their.
No, they're really good at they're good at engage, but he didn't take engage. He took behind enemy lines, which I also questioned.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. If engage on all fronts was a mistake, what's better?
So no. Cam has engage on all fronts, which is fine because he's got a.
If Raise the Banners.
Cam has a Fire Raptor.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
he's going to get at least one turn of engage.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if Raise the Banners was like not a good thing to take.
So to me, it looks like Cam and Arden took the same style of secondaries. They both took Assassinate because both lists just have tons of characters.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's fine. But then both of them, for their other 2 secondaries, picked secondaries where they don't have to interact with the other person very much, and they can just do their thing and get points, and it doesn't matter what the other person does. Like them getting points for these other 2 secondaries doesn't rely on their opponent interacting with them. They can just do it, and they get points. So it's not dice roll related necessarily.
Are we doing more paint judging stuff?
I guess.
All right. Well, I was here for a few minutes.
All right. Well, we will welcome you back with open arms when you're done. So, and this is kind of what I was saying from earlier, is I don't know where these banner points are going to come from. Like, Arden is making no move to the center of the table. He doesn't want to be in the center table. I imagine because he respects the amount of damage that 1,000 Suns can put out, and he's just trying to avoid that. Makes perfect sense. If that's the case, I don't know where your banners are coming from. So I'm interested to see what happens. All right, looks like we're getting some dice rolls. All right, so the Mauler Fiend killed 2 cultists, or the Forge Fiend was able to kill 2 cultists. That was it. That was the end of the turn. So now we're on the Cam's turn. So Cam is starting to move. He's measuring for his Terminators. Remember, Cam has the Terminators with the Hellfire Racks and the Soul Reaper cannons. So they actually, he doesn't have Mauler Fiends, but he's got some decent long-range shooting as well. He's advancing these cultists over onto this objective. So that the main thing would be even if Arden is able to get to that objective now, he can't put a banner down because he wasn't able to get there the first turn. That goes back to why I was a little unsure about it. Is that you can't put a banner down if the other team already controls the objective. And that looks like this was going to happen in both situations. That Cam is going to be able to get something to touch the 2 peripheral objectives, which is going to just stop any banners from being put down. So I just don't see where there's going to be, like right now, like it looks like Arden's going to get 5 on banners. It's going to be hard for that 5 to keep up with the Octarius data that's kind of matched up against from the Shadow operations. Octarius data, pretty reliably gets 8 to 12. All right, get some information from our table judge. Arden raised banners on his back left field object. Yeah, so the one that he's got all of his army on, he raised banners, which is what we expected. Yeah, so if you look at this match as like a matchup on secondaries, as it doesn't, neither one should necessarily have an advantage on primary, as they're both very similar lists. I feel like Cam selected secondaries that he can actually score more points on than Arden. Like if it becomes if the battle is like, where can I just outscore you? The banners is going to have a hard time keeping up with Octarius data, and I feel like behind enemy lines, as we saw at this point, Arden is nowhere near Cam's deployment zone at all, and this is one you have to kind of get every turn to be able to keep it going. It's not in all at once at the end of the game or anything. It looks like, yeah, so Cam's already got a 2 on engage. He's able to advance the cultists up. He's got some deployed in the, or looks like redeployed or scout moved in the bottom right corner behind that bunker. He's got his main army bottom left. So he's already got 2 on engage, and he's going to get his first Octarius data. So it is, yeah, this is, I feel like this is, we're going to see how this works out. If Arden, like I said, I don't know anything about Thousand Suns. Arden may have a master plan here. But this is what the thing that seems immediately concerning to me is that difference in secondaries. So we'll see how that plays out. If only they added individual paint scores to each round, Arden would definitely be ahead because, man, his shit's gorgeous. That is some sweet looking Thousand Suns. All right, yeah, the Zangors went ahead and deployed their Octarius data in Cam's back right, so that main deployment zone objective. Yeah. So imagine that's the Zangors that are in the ruins themselves, not the Terminators. Terminators, in case anyone's wondering, the Terminators are all the way back behind that large square, specifically to not be able to be seen through it. They could potentially, depending on how the players have agreed things are working. Although that building, I can see it from my angle. There's no windows on the bottom floor, so it doesn't actually matter. So that looks like he's using them more so as a kind of backfield screen to make sure nobody can like deep strike back there, while still using the Zangors to move up a little bit and kind of protect some things from being able to charge the Terminators if they deep stroked in at a weird angle. So he's just being very careful with his overlapping bubbles right now, which I like. Making sure he doesn't give up any obvious ways to give up easy movement there. The Duke, yeah, I mean, I know painting quality is not a thing on the score, but sometimes you look at someone's army and you're like, man, I wish it was, because this army just deserves a few extra points because it's gorgeous. So I at least can respect that. Like, I can paint some nice stuff, but like I know that I'm never painting anything that deserves extra for sure. So I appreciate it when I see it. Everyone enjoys 40K for their own reasons. I play, my wife paints. I appreciate both sides. That's my favorite thing about the hobby, is that everyone can kind of find the thing they care the most about. If you just want to barely paint and come play, good on you. If you want to, you don't care about winning and losing, and you just want to have something amazing, good on you for that. Or, the real champions are people who do both. Quality cleavage. There are definitely going to be people out there that respect you for that. So I'm not going to, my wife is here, so I'm not going to say yes or no whether I respect that. But there are definitely people who do. All right, looks like we're getting a few more measurements out. Again, I think we're just trying to make sure that our bubbles are clear here. We just want to make sure that there's no easy, weird, hit a 9-inch charge out of nowhere to like disrupt our castle. So we're just being really careful to make sure that we've got the layers set up to protect our home base. I also imagine part of this is that Cam wants to make sure he has a nice, clean space for that Fire Raptor to come in next turn. Because I'm going to imagine he's not planning on just yeeting it across the table. There are some flying demon princes over there that would probably be able to kill it. And he probably would like to get a couple turns out of it if possible. So I imagine, we'll see what happens next turn, but I imagine Cam would like to drop that Fire Raptor in his deployment zone to start with, and then move it forward on turn 3. All right, looks like Ahriman coming up on the side. All right, measuring some smites. He would love to just be able to smite this Chaos Spawn to death. That would just be an easy way to deal with that problem. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about last round. If we can take out some of the speed, we're going to stretch the person's ability to spread across the table, because they're going to have to move things to the periphery that they want to have either supporting or be supported by other more important pieces in their army. So if you can quickly pick off some of these like useless things, it starts putting a stress tax on the rest of the army. So we'll see if he's able to take advantage of that. Oh, we are doing the redeploy with the Scarabs. Okay. I'm asking which redeploy we used. Get the information from our table judge. So we are redeploying these cultists, or not cultists, Scarab Occult Terminators, sorry. Definitely not cultists. All right, so you use the Umbralific Crystal to redeploy the Occult Terminators to the side of the table, right? I'm going to imagine that's once again used kind of like the Necron Veil of Darkness. I can go check instead of just, guessing. I can be a good commentator and actually, check on things. Let's see. Umbralific Crystal, where are you? All right, yeah, so once per battle. Yeah, it's the Veil of Darkness from Necrons. It's the exact same thing. Once per battle, redeploy outside 9 inches. So he took that with, who had the crystal in Cam's list? So that would have been, I don't see who has it. All right, so now he's saying use the Cult of Duplicity. All right, so it looks like we use Sorcerer's Facade as a spell to redeploy, not the Umbralific Crystal. Okay. All right, chat, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, chat. We have paused the game for a minute. We have a judge over. We're trying to get a list error taken care of, so I apologize for the silence. I will get back to you when we have got this figured out, and we'll let you guys know how we're proceeding. All right, chat, we're going to switch to our close-up camera while we get this figured out so you guys can at least see some cool shit, because there's a lot of cool shit on this table. So... right, there we go. Cool. Sorry. I forgot my lapel mics were not on that screen. So what happened was Cam had submitted a list for the event that had no relics on it. He just forgot to put any. He paid for them. He paid for extra ones and then did not mark what they were. So that's why I was confused as I was looking for, our table judge was saying he had used the Umberlific Crystal and I couldn't find it in his list. So we have dealt with that appropriately. Yellow cards have been assessed as necessary. The lists have been corrected and we're now moving on. Glad that we figured that out now instead of round 5 or whatever, so that everything will be legal for Cam moving forward. So we appreciate you guys' patience while we took care of that. Hope you enjoyed some close-ups of these really nice looking Thousand Suns models. So we have the Umberlific Crystal moved 1 unit of Scarab Occult Terminators, and then Cult of Duplicity spell moved the other. So both sets of Terminators have now been moved up into meaningful positions, and Cam is going to continue with the Psychic phase. All right, so Armin just passed Presage and fired off Doombolt, dealt 3 mortal wounds, and smited, which dealt another 3. So Armin has dealt 6 mortal wounds. That Chaos Spawn is gone. He's out of here. Again, we're now going to start stressing the ability for Arden's Thousand Suns to spread out. Yes, Strange Snow. That is Arden, who is on your screen, the top right. All of his stuff is beetle themed. Both of his, and we'll see if we can get a close up here in a little bit. Both of his Chaos Spawn are beetles, and his Demon Prince is a beetle with the wings out, with the shell open and everything. So he's got some really cool, both players have some really cool stuff. Cam's Demon Prince actually has wings from one of the Age of Sigmar models, so it's kind of like this weird evil looking angel wing. It looks really, really sweet. These are both beautiful armies, and I'm really happy that we get to see both of them. I wish I had a better quality setup and we could do some really close zoom-ins. So I will try to get some zoom-ins with my limited extra camera here in a bit. But they are both super well done and really cool to look at. All right, 1 CP was spent to ignore perils by Cam. So really leaning into, we're going to throw a bunch of mine bullets out here and don't want them to backfire in our heads. All right, and then let's see what else. Table judge is still typing. Now the thing I do love here is that this makes perfect sense with why Cam selected Engage, because he knew the Engage was not limited just to his Fire Raptor, which isn't even on the table yet. He knew that he was going to be able to start setting up Engage with these out deploys and redeploys. Really go to the edges, just start getting those 2 every turn. He doesn't even need to get a 3. He looks like he's setting up right now. I'm just going to try to get 10 on this over the course of the game, get my points that way and move on, which I really like the way he's kind of set up his game plan here. Let's see, we spent 3 CP to give +1 bolter shots and another strat to give +1 to wound through shooting. I imagine onto these, I'll double check. I imagine it's onto the Scarabs in the middle of the board. And I imagine they're putting their Combi Boltas and Soul Reaper cannons downfield. Looked like into a Forge Fiend was what we saw. Especially because the Terminators do get the automatic 4 shots. So 4 shots with +1 to wound, that's going to add up quickly. All right, so yes, these are the ones that are already next to Demon Prince that are re-rolling 1s as they shoot downfield. Double check on the target. It looks like the Forge Fiend. I see a lot of people pointing at the Forge Fiend. Yep, into the Forge Fiend. The Duke, I missed it when you followed earlier, but thank you for the follow. We really appreciate that. While these guys are rolling out all these shots, I want to take a minute. Again, shout out our sister stream today, War Games Live, streaming on YouTube today. Go check out our YouTube channel. We got a different match being streamed from the event right now, Blood Angels versus Necrons on the. So please go check, give a like, follow, subscribe to YouTube. And then also, if you have a chance, please give our YouTube channel a like, follow, subscribe, which again is in our socials, if you guys haven't seen them. Come check out our Discord, Facebook, but you know, we're really trying to get our YouTube channel off the ground. Remember this, I feel like my mic is not in a place that you can actually hear me. Maybe that'll be better. So if you have a chance for both War Games Live and Death or Glory, if you could just check out the YouTube channels, give them a like, follow, subscribe, really help us start getting our numbers up so that the algorithm will start showing people that we exist. We want to show off 40K in the Midwest. We're trying to get the YouTube channel going to help people see us when they can't catch us on Twitch. So any likes or follows would really be appreciated there. All right, looks like the Forge Fiend, looks like it's saying 5 damage left. We'll see if we can follow up. So definitely see some damage got put on the Forge Fiend. I'm asking the table judge right now how much. And Forge Fiend. And it has 12 wounds, okay. So it took 6, so it's halfway down. They're not on Twitch, the Duke are on YouTube. So if you look on YouTube for War Games Live, I'll see if I can find the link and I'll put it in there. Give me 1 second. Yep, it's just War Games Live. Came up for me, I'll put it right here. There you go. So that's the other stream today. That's War Games Live. Give them a like, follow, subscribe if you can. Again, if you want to go check out the other match going on right now, we got Blood Angels versus Necrons on the other table. Okay, big news here. It looks like there was some rerolls onto the health or onto the Forge Fiend. It looks like the Forge Fiend went down and is exploding. The Forge Fiend exploded. All right, so roll the 6 on the explosion. So now start handing out those mortals. We'll see how much damage this explosion is able to do. So I imagine this was following up with the Soul Reaper cannons. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The War Games Live guys have 4, 8. They have 12 cameras on their table. We have 2. So I apologize that we don't have 12 cameras, but they have a really impressive setup for sure. It's really nice.
You should have completed round 1. You have completed battle round 1 by this point. If you have not completed battle round 1, you are falling behind. 2 other announcements. The bonus prize for this round has been claimed. The bonus prize for this round has been claimed. Finally, the judges are passing out player's choice voting sheets. If you want your army,
we're just waiting for the announcements to finish, guys.
Please set out your army for display after this round. All votes are due by the time the next round starts at 4:30. Again, player's choice votes are being handed out and must be turned in by 4:30. Thank you.
So the Forge Fiend exploded, took out Azangor and 2 Rubric Marines. So, you know, that was a meaningful explosion for sure. I also think, like, this is a big deal for me because we know next turn the Chaos Raptor's coming on. The Forge Fiends might be one of the best things besides the Demon Prince charging mortal wounds that can help, like, take out the Chaos Raptor before it causes a bunch of damage. So I kind of like prioritizing these Forge Fiends for that reason, to make sure that Chaos Raptor gets to kind of do its thing for as much of the game as possible. All right, so now the other Scarabs are shooting through the forest into the other Forge Fiend on the other side. Now we've already used the strats on the first one, so this may not be enough to kill it. We'll see. If you can kill both Forge Fiends on the first turn, that's huge, obviously. So we'll see. We'll see how much damage he can do here. And yeah, for sure, if you guys check out the War Games Live, their setup is incredible. They have got tons of cool camera shots, camera angles. I've been telling Pete and Tom, the owners of Death or Glory, we gotta work up to that, because I mean, I like our stream. I think we have nice coverage with our modest little cameras. We still got a 4K camera as best we can. I'm pretty sure our overhead is 4K. I don't think we stream in 4K though. But that's the goal. We all want to get to that nice, fancy, professional setup, and War Games Live definitely has that. So show them your love by giving them some likes and subscribes over there. Hopefully, you guys are entertained by our little 2-camera setup and our commentary, though. Even though it's just me this round, I appreciate you guys in chat keeping me entertained. It helps it. Had plans to have 2 judges. We were going to have Eric Gibbs on commentary with me this weekend, and unfortunately, they had 7 judges signed up, or they had 7 judges enlisted to do the 40K tournament, and then unfortunately 5 of them had things come up, and they only ended up with 2. So all the people that were like my commentary help got redirected, as the number one goal is to make sure the players are having a good, efficient tournament. So we need the judges to do that. So completely understand, but we'll see. We're going to be pulling people through the weekend to try to help with commentary to keep it entertaining and keep it flowing. Oh my God! It looks like the other Forge Fiend died also. No explosion on that. Not that it mattered. Both units of Terminators took out both Forge Fiends. That's huge. We talked before in the first round about how the Sisters player was able to really put stress on the Space Wolves player by killing all of their speedy stuff and making their slow things have to spread the board to do stuff. We're seeing the exact same thing here. The things that Arden wanted to send out to the sides are just getting decimated. And now he's going to have to start sending things out away from his castle that he doesn't want to. Let me see. Does he have... He actually doesn't... No, he does have 20. I was counting wrong. Yeah, he's got 7 regular Terminators in each unit, a Sergeant, and 2 Hellfire Racks. Or 2 Soul Reapers. So yeah, 20 Terminators. So you're seeing really the power of these stratagems with the shooting Soul Reaper cannons and just tons of shots from the Storm Bolters. That's a lot of weighted dice. And especially with the Soul Reaper cannons, a lot of good shooting. That when you back that up with Mind Bullets from all the Psychic spells, they can really start taking down some heavy targets. And again, we haven't even seen the primary shooting unit come on the table yet. There is a Chaos Fire Raptor that is going to be on the table next turn that Cam put in deploy or in reserves to start off. Nick, which are you talking about? Not putting the Forge Fiends in cover, or the Terminators are not in cover, so they're not going to have the one-up saves. Yeah. So they're out there a little bit, but the main thing that wanted to shoot them is gone now. So now we got the Rubric Marines. Let's see, Arden has 3 units of Rubric Marines, I believe, and let me double check. 3 units of Rubric Marines and a 10-man Terminator unit. Oh, he's got a 5-man also. So he's got 30 guys with guns left. Not tons of guns, but I imagine putting random shots into Terminators is not as good as putting random shots into the Forge Fiends. So we'll see what happens here. I don't imagine that we're going to kill 20 Terminators here for sure. And the thing is that to start putting shots into Terminators, Arden's got to bring stuff out into the open, and that's just going to be kind of sit and duck from when this Fire Raptor lands on the table next turn. So we'll see how Arden plays this. Looks like he's moved the Zangors up to start trying to get to that middle objective. Again, this is where I'm a little worried about the Raise the Banners pick. We took out the Forge Fiends, the Chaos Spawn. We didn't make any moves on turn 1 to get to the middle. So I don't know what the banners are gonna like. The banners I feel like are looking at a max of 5 right now, and I don't know how that's gonna match up. We haven't got the secondaries for Cam yet, but we know Cam did get a 2 on engage on all fronts, and we're sure he did retrieve Octarius data. We know he did it with the Zangors in the back left, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Cam also has 3 objectives, so unless he's going to get a minimum of he's going to get a 15 on his turn, unless Arden can kill both 10-man units of Terminators, which sounds hefty. That doesn't sound like an easy thing to do, because both Terminators are touching an objective. So if he wants to stop Arden from getting a 15, he's got to kill at least one of those 10-man units. And we'll see if he has enough shots to do that into the All Is Dust. All right, so Arden just cast a +1 Strength Prayer and used Ori on the Rubric Terminators. Selects a target within range and gives them ignore modifiers to hit rolls in shooting and melee. So he is going to be hitting on a normal ballistic skill with that Terminator unit. Again, that Terminator unit has 2 Soul Reaper cannons plus 8 Stormbolters. It's going to be going into something with All Is Dust, so we'll see how much damage that is. I haven't played against, I definitely haven't played a Thousand Suns mirror match, so I'm interested to see how this math shakes out. How well are the All Is Dust units good? How good are they at killing each other? The thing that is interesting to me is that these, the bottom right Terminators, the ones that are kind of between the bottom right objective and the center objective, they don't have anything psychic screening for them. So like they're definitely open to smites. I know Thousand Suns has plenty of targeted things. So the plan may be to put mortal wounds into them and try to finish them off with shooting, to try to at least clear that objective. The problem is there's nothing on the center objective, so even if Arden kills all the Terminators on that bottom right, if he doesn't get anything to touch the middle, okay, which now he is. So if he didn't get anything to touch the middle, then just holding 2 objectives would still be worth 15 points, which is obviously not what Arden needs to let happen. So he's stopping this with, I'll double check what's moving up. I imagine these are the 10 Terminators, but we're verifying that with our table spotter. They certainly look like Terminators. Yeah, those have to be the Terminators for sure. They can't be anything else. So those are definitely going to be able to put all their shots into these other Terminators. I'm willing to see how good are Terminators good at killing each other. Because they don't have AP on the Stormbolters. Those Terminators are not in cover, but they still have All Is Dust. Pretty sure the Stormbolters are not like sister Stormbolters, right? They don't have damage to Stormbolters, right? No. Yeah, so all the Stormbolters are going to be giving 2-up saves no matter what. They have Inferno Bolters. Inferno Combi Bolter, which is AP2 at least, so. Without cover, he's going to be on a 1-up, back to a 2, back to a 3. So, okay, he'll be at least getting to reduce them down to 3. So, you know, that's mathematically easier than shooting them when they have 2-up saves, for sure. So maybe not putting them in any kind of cover is going to come back to bite him in the butt, as Nick was pointing out in chat. The Scarabs do have ignore all modifiers to hit. So even though they're moving, they're going to be, even with the Soul Fire Cannons, they're going to be hitting on 3s. Demon Prince coming up, giving them reroll 1s. So we're bringing what we can to bear on these Terminators down here. And you know, we haven't even gotten to the Psychic spells yet. All right, bringing some stuff over to the side perhaps. Looks like maybe these are a 5-man rubric coming OBSEC away from these Terminators. Hit, wound, and damage. Now the All Is Dust is just... Yeah. The Ori doesn't interact with All Is Dust though, right? Because it's not modifying... All Is Dust modifies the thing you're shooting at, not the thing you're doing. So I don't think there's any wound or damage modifiers that would happen here. But maybe there's a strat or something that doing this ahead of time just preempts. So I will say again, I am not a Thousand Suns expert. I think they look sweet, but I don't know very much about them. I am a Blood Angels and Necrons and Sisters player. All right, get some information from our table judge here. Let's see what they have to say. I'm waiting for this next round. I want to see what happens when the Chaos Raptor comes on, because I assume it's going to go straight for those Terminators, and I want to see how that shakes out. Because I think that will just make all the Terminators will be saving on 4s against the Chaos Raptor. All right, so the Rubric Marines moved a little bit. Yeah, the gunship is going to do some dumb stuff when it comes on a table. I really liked Cam putting it in reserves. It prevented the Forge Marines from being able to light it up before Cam took a turn in case he went second, which is exactly what happened. He was able to spend his turn 1. Yeah, there should be 2 for engage. Yeah. He was able to take care of the thing that could go after the gunship. So I imagine he's going to bring the gunship on, just dropping his deployment zone away from the Demon Princes who could charge it and mitigate any smites that could be targeted smited. And then we'll see if he can take out all the other guns from the Terminators with the Raptor and the Terminators that will be left. I don't know if he'll have a lot of answers for the Raptor gunship as long as he doesn't let a Demon Prince charge it. So I'm really interested to see what happens when it comes on the table. Plus, Raptors are cool and I want to see it. Not gonna lie, that was why I picked this for stream. I want to see cool models. I like seeing cool, well-painted models, in the early rounds of a tournament. Obviously, by the end of the tournament, we're gonna have, undefeateds, and that's great. But let's have some fun shit on stream at the beginning. All right, so Scarab Terminators and the Zangors with an Infernal Sorcerer behind them are in the center. So what does this Infernal Sorcerer know? Infernal, it probably means an Infernal Master. So that's the one with Bladed Maelstrom, Weaver of Fates, Malefic Maelstrom, and the Umbralific Crystal. Looks like we should be about ready for the Psychic phase. And it looks like that's what we're doing now. So we'll get our Psychic updates as soon as Petra is able to let us know what's going on. So we're starting with Ahriman casting Firestorm on the Demon Prince. 9 dice looking for 5s. Dealt none. No 5s out of 9 dice. That is, that's the way that goes sometimes. Sometimes you get 6, sometimes you get 0. All right, let's see what's up next. This is why I love having a table spotter, because there's so much going on here in the Psychic phase that would be very hard for us to guess from the camera. So really glad we have someone who can their job is just to let us know what's happening at the table. All right. Cam's Demon Prince has taken 5 mortal wounds so far, though, from other things that have happened to it. So the Demon Prince, that's probably why he was going after Ahriman. See if we could just pick it up and be done with it. Again, I think there's this little bit of a game going on right now of trying to preemptively take out things that are going to stop what you want to do in the back half of the game. And I think both players are really valuing things like the flying demon print, so you can just kind of get up in there and mix it up, be kind of like just an insane beat stick. So I think that's why Arden is kind of targeting Cam's demon prints here. He wants to have that demon print superiority. He wants to make sure that he is the one who can control the skies and get to the back lines. So they're both trying to prioritize those things first. All right, so Smite on the Scarabs dealt 3 damage, which picks up a Scarab Terminator. Looks like we lost another one at some point. Following up. All right, looks like we're going after Ahriman over there. Ooh, if he can like just get a cheeky little smite on Ahriman and take him out, that would be huge. Nick, were you referencing a specific combo with the Fire Raptor? That I'm not, I mean, I don't know Thousand Suns. I thought, I misread what you said. I just realized you said there's a nasty combo. I was thinking more you were just talking about the Fire Raptor in general. Is there a specific combo we should be looking for next turn? All right, so the Smite killed 2. One was already hurt. And now another Smite just killed a 3rd Terminator. So we're down to 7 Terminators. Yeah, our table judge is commenting on how much there is in the psychic phase. There's a lot of stuff you can put on this Fire Raptor. So you can get it +1 strength, +1 CP, or sorry, +1 AP, +1 to hit. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. So let's see, its guns would be up to what? Yeah. So this one has. Cam's has 2 quad heavy bolters and 2 Hellstrike, 2 twin Hellstrike. So we're looking at the 2 quad heavy bolters. They're gonna be 24 shots. So they get +1 strength and AP. They'd be strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage. And the Hellstrikes be strength 9, AP 4, 3 damage. So those are gonna chew through some Terminators pretty quickly. Everything's going to be saving on 4s. So I'm really, I wanted to see this happen. Yeah, this one will have 28 attacks, but that's not like that's a meaningfully less number than 36 or whatever it is, 32. All right, we get some more updates on the psychic phase here from our table judge. Let's see. And I was looking at what he had listed on his list, but there may be stuff that it comes with that the list doesn't just say because they're just automatic. 2 twin Avenger bolt cannons, 2 auto cannons, 2 Hellstrike launchers. So he has changed the 2 auto cannons for 2 quad bolters, which means he still has the twin bolt cannons. Yeah, so he's got another 20 shots. Oh my god. He's got 1 twin, not 2 twin. So he's got another 10 shots. So he's going to have like 38 shots, yeah. So I have 30 strength 7, AP 3, 2 damage, 24 strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage, and then 4 strength 9, AP 4, 3 damage, if all of the buffs go off the way they're supposed to. That's a lot of shots. I want to see this happen, guys. All right, so Arden is having trouble with the spamming of the dice. Arden cast Baleful Devolution on the Terminators, rolled 14 dice, 6s do D3 mortals, and he got 1 6. So he killed the 4th Terminator. We're down to 6. So now it's going to be, I don't know how many spells he could have left. We'll see. Has he killed enough that the Terminators, that Arden's Terminators can finish off this unit? Really getting to see the mind bullets on display here. These mortal wound outputs are no joke for sure. All right, Demon Prince failed his smite against the Occult Terminators, and that ended our psychic phase. So at the end of the second phase, we killed 4 Terminators with mind bullets. It's better than 0. The question is going to be, is that enough to finish this unit off? Can we now kill 6 Terminators in the shooting phase? That's going to be a question. If the answer is no, then we're going to be giving Cam a 15. So he's going to have a 10-point advantage on the first turn, which is going to be significant. If he can finish off these 6, then we'll be only down 5 on primary after turn 1, which is pretty manageable. So we'll just have to see what happens at that point. How's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. You want to sit down and hang out?
Sure, I'll sit down and hang out.
Here you go. We got Jason Snigowski with us. Here you go, if you want to clip that on.
All right.
We're watching some Thousand Sons on Thousand Sons violence.
1,000 Suns on 1,000 Suns.
Yeah. So these two, we had unit Terminators 10 here, 10 here.
Right.
On that player's first turn, they teleported forward and killed both Forge Fiends.
Wow.
And so this player has now brought their Terminators forward, and we just spent the whole psychic phase here, killed 4, and now trying to see if we can kill the last 6 to stop a 15-point primary turn. So we've buffed up these Terminators. We're going to see if their shooting can kill 6 Terminators who are not in cover.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know the math. It's probably easier to kill 6 in shooting than the original 10, so it's not like that hurts. So I'm interested to see. But what I'm really waiting for, what Chad is waiting for, is this player on this side, who's losing these models, he has a Fire Raptor in reserve. And Fire Raptor's coming on next turn.
Oh no.
And I don't know if it's good enough, but man, I want to see that. I'm looking forward to it, because I feel like if you need to kill 10 all as dust Terminators, a Fire Raptor might be as good as you get.
I'm going to say, as far as the oh no factor goes, a Fire Raptor is, it's all of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. It's excessive amount of points. But wow, is it got all the shots.
Yeah. And I was really liking Cam's approach to this game, because he took out the things that could shoot. He put it in reserve in case he didn't go first,
Right.
which I love. He took out the Forge Fiends so that they couldn't interact with it when we get on the table. And he knows that with these deploying forward, these Terminators, or Arden's Terminators, had to come out, which means they have to be in the open when the Fire Raptor gets here. So, we may be willing to, if we trade 10 Terminators for 10 Terminators, you got to be happy with that.
Especially if you still got a Fire Raptor.
Especially if you still got a Fire Raptor. So it's not like the Thousand Sons can't mortal a Fire Raptor to death, but it was not going to be as fast as if they had guns also.
Exactly, yeah, 100%.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on Cam's turn.
I may wander over there. I got done beating up some custodes really fast.
Okay.
So starting to wander around, talk to people, see what's going on.
There's a lot of cool shit. You need to go step by this table when you have a chance, because both players' armies are beautiful. This guy, the one on this side, has converted. He had converted both of his Forge Fiends and his Demon Prince to beetles.
Nice.
And the Demon Prince is like a beetle with like all the wings out, while the Forge Fiends are just giant beetles running across, or not the Forge Fiends, the Chaos Spawn are just giant beetles running across the table.
Nice.
It looks beautiful. Both guys have a lot of conversion work in there. It looks awesome. That's why I was telling Chaz, my favorite thing on the first day of a tournament like this is you get to see cool stuff.
Yeah, always.
Day 2, you can narrow down on who brought the best list, who's playing the best, start getting tactical. Day one is just let's see some sweet shit.
Yeah.
All right, so everything went into the Scarab Terminator on the left. Again, they're the Ori target to not get any modifiers off, but we're not losing them quickly. There's still 4 guys left. And again, if we don't kill that Terminator squad, then Cam's going to have a 15-point primary on turn 1. And he's going second, so he's probably going to get a 15 later also. So that's definitely puts Arden in the hole to start with. Let's see. I'll ask our table spotter how much is already shot. Because he's got 15 Terminators, he's got 10 and a 5, and he's got 15 Rubrics and 3 5-mans. So like they can do stuff. Down the 3.
I'd be checking coherency on that one. That might have been a bad pull.
All he needs is that last guy, and then you throw 2. This is the one that matters. He's going to pull everything else.
Well,
and
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
Not disagreeing with you, but if he gets down to a point where he's like, oh, I failed morale.
If he rolls morale after losing 9 Terminators, he's fucked up anyway.
True. But what's the CP situation? He may roll it.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like I would trade 2 CP for 10 points.
Oh, definitely.
Especially if you get 2 points and you forced him to spend his whole turn shooting one thing. And if you don't kill it, then you basically wasted your turn.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, they're whittling them down. I don't think it's going to be easy, but we might get it done.
Yeah, but you gotta also remember, like, the AP on the Fire Raptor is not that great.
So it has 3 different loadouts. If all the buffs go off from the Infernal Master, they all get +1 AP and +1 strength. So we'll have strength 9 AP 4.
Yeah, on the
we'll have
missiles.
strength 7 AP 3. We'll have 10 of those, and we'll have 24 strength 6 AP 2s. So that's not nothing.
No, that's a lot better. A lot better.
Assuming the buffs go off. That's we get to a part where there's some dice that could fail, so we'll just have to see what happens. We may be done shooting the Terminators.
Looks like there's 1.5 left.
It doesn't look like we've finished them.
Yeah.
And Cam knew that those Terminators were going to get lit up. So
oh yeah.
He's not like he was hoping for a different outcome.
Yeah, but he does have to be careful. I mean, if those psychic buffs, if he misplays it, or distances are so insane. If he messes up by even like a couple inches and somebody gets a deny off, it could ruin that whole next phase.
Yeah. All right, so Rubrics on the top left picked up the Zangors that were holding that objective with the Scarab Occult Terminators. I don't think there's anything I don't think he's planning on charging those Terminators this turn, but he's at least taking the OBSEC off of them for the future turns. But I mean, those Rubrics, they can come up and steal that objective from the Scarab Occult Terminators, assuming the Fire Raptor lets them. We'll see what happens.
You got to be careful with stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
Whenever you do those thinking ahead 2-3 turn, like if something goes wrong, you may suddenly have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I'm wondering. I'm sitting here thinking about. I love the idea of trying to just point the Fire Raptor at the Terminators and see what happens. But there's definitely an argument to be made just to kill all the other 5-man units.
Yeah.
Like kill all 3 of the 5-man Rubrics and the 5-man Terminator unit, and just like, okay, well now you've got 1 unit left.
Right.
Play the objective now.
Yeah.
So, especially if he gets a 15 this turn, and he knows he could probably get a 15 at the end of the game. If he just hides stuff, like that might just be the better tactical decision. So we'll see what Cam decides to do. If you bring a Fire Raptor, it means you know certain things you want it to do. So we'll see what his plan was when he came in.
Thanks, Bill. Apparently I forgot to put my name on my army for voting for favorite army.
Oh yeah, that would be helpful. Let's see. So the Scarabs in the back are going into the same squad that he's been. So he has a 5-man Scarab unit left that is still shooting at these Terminators. He killed the wounded one. He's got one guy left.
Whew. I'm not sure if War Games Live. Did you mention to Duke already about the War Games?
Yeah,
Live?
we've been talking about them a lot.
Okay. I think they're only on YouTube. I don't think they're on Twitch. Sorry, I was catching up on the chat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I answered that question earlier. But their coverage is sweet. They got 12 cameras.
His setup is phenomenal.
Don't have Jason Snagowski on commentary.
Oh, true.
But, yeah.
But they did have me on their
They had you on round one. Yeah.
And apparently I was quite the entertaining factor.
Well, good.
I was also maybe not quite sober round one.
Who isn't? There's not that many people in this room that could say they were. I'm impressed how much you guys are able to rally from night of day one to beginning of day two. Because I know you guys were out having a good time after doubles last night. No one's showing it this morning.
We were here till about midnight.
Yeah.
And I think we went through 3 bottles of wine. It was a rough night last night.
Okay, so I wasn't clear on this. These Terminators that were back here look like they deep striked in from Arden, and so he's now making a charge with these Terminators. Trying to finish off the Demon Prince in that one. Now I thought those were Cam's Terminators, so that makes a big difference. Because clearly they can probably punch a Terminator to death. But this Demon Prince has taken 5 mortals, so I don't know how likely he is to survive this.
It looks to me like things are about to swing the wrong way.
See, I thought those were Cam's Terminators, like he had backed up.
No, this looks like this might be bad, especially if some of those buffs are through those units.
Yeah. See, what does that Demon Prince know? Got over here. Cam's Demon Prince has Gaze of Hate, Zinch's Firestorm. Let's see what Gaze of Hate is. It has so many spells. Gaze of Hate.
Gaze of Hate. That's where they look at you and they don't like you.
That's also a Mortal Wound one.
Mortal Wound mechanic?
Yeah. So that guy just pumps out mortals. He doesn't have any buffs that it looks like. Not that you want to lose that. Both these armies are heavily relying on extra damage in the psychic phase.
Apparently we're also being told that the Demon Prince has the -1 attack armor. So...
Yeah, it's going to be -4 attacks right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a sniper. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. He's got 2 targeted smites. Nope.
Well, there's one more Demon Prince.
1s and 2s on your saves aren't going to do it. All right, so we are at least holding Cam to a 10, not a 15, which is what we had to do this turn. Even if we fail this, if we don't kill this Scarab Terminator, it's fine because we're tied on the objective at this point. At that point, you can roll, see if you get a 1. I don't think you wasted 2. You don't waste 2 CP to keep the 1 guy alive necessarily.
No, because you're contesting it already. You're not getting it.
He's still alive. He made it.
Well, now maybe you do. No, because he piled in. Nah.
I mean, he could pay 2 CP, fall it back, and try to finish that off. We talked about kill the stuff that could spread out if he wants to go for that plan. If your plan is to kill the 4 5-man units, the 3 Rubrics and the 5-man Terminator, maybe you pay to 2 then, because then you're going to force the Terminators to have to shoot it with something.
Yeah. No, completely agree.
It depends on, does he want to kill the 10-man unit or the little units? So we'll have to just wait and see what his plan is. I think there's definitely an argument to be made for both.
Yep.
And it's not like the Fire Raptor's the only thing that can shoot. We still got 10 Terminators.
There's a lot of stuff going on still.
20 Terminators is more than 15. So
and it's only turn 2. Turn 2, you never know what happens.
This is a very front-loaded game. Both players have a lot of ways to interact on the first 2 turns.
Yeah. So. But anyway, I'm going to take my opportunity here to go get more drink.
All right.
So,
well, you have any
bring
more
you
free
back
time
to
this
your lapel
weekend,
mic.
feel free to drop by.
Oh, you know me.
All right, you're good. I got you off. All right, so for assassinate from killing the warlord. All right, so it wasn't just a normal 3 assassinate. That was the warlord. Get that extra point. All right, so now this is where we get to see Arden did everything he needed to do. He leveraged as much power as he could to pick up 10 Terminators. Let's see. Asking how that last Terminator survived. They may have forgotten to roll morale. We'll double check. Arden did exactly what he needed to do. Okay. Are they fearless? Are they fearless?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's one of the sound such ability is like always dusk or something. So they
Does that make them fearless?
Yeah, it just
Okay.
makes them pass.
Okay. I didn't realize that was an auto pass mechanic. Oh, Arcane Automata. I did not know this one. All right. So they were basically fearless. All right. So yeah, don't have to use the 2 CP. So that was always going to be just try to keep that. So I love the play of now if we.
Backgrounds are 2-0.
There you go. All right.
Just hit the Baneblade list like 100 to 56.
You say that again?
The Baneblade, like the 2 Baneblades and the Shadow Sword?
Yeah.
I beat him 100 to 56.
Yeah, those Beyblades don't want to fight warriors.
I don't even have warriors this time around.
Are you doing Marshall's list?
Huh?
Are you doing Marshall's list?
Kind of a combination of his and that Dick Vanderhurst from. I've got 1 unit of Lich Guard, 1 unit of Scorpex, a few little Immortals. For the train in this, I bumped up, even though I give up more no prisoners, a little bit more on the race. I went with 5-man squads, or Scarabs and 1 5-man Wraith, just for those giant hills.
Yeah.
This one, I killed all his infantry with the Immortals, and then just put one of those units.
Yeah, just start feeding them in.
direct assault.
Yeah.
And I actually got one of the. I went way out wide with the race, and he shot all the mana cores at it while the Scorpex in the building. He should have shot the Scorpex. I
Yeah.
baited him into that. And then I have 2 heavy destroyers too. I just rushed them out, got all the damage I could on the first Baneblade, ended up doing like 14. And then when he killed the race instead of the Scorpex, I got 1 charge off, killed it. We had both taken to the last. I hid the Lich Guard in my 2 command barges in the back, and once I got that 5-point up on him on that, I just kept trading the middle. He never got direct assault till bottom of 5. He took assassinate, but he didn't get till bottom of 5.
Sounds good.
I avenged Nurgle Matt because he beat Nurgle Matt in the first round.
Oh, okay. Well, I might have to get your Necrons on stream at some point then.
He vengeance Decadied the shit out of Nurgle Matt.
Yeah, that's a good tool. That's a good tool. All right. Well, I'll have to see about getting you on stream. We'll see.
Grey Knight's first round.
That doesn't seem easy.
He was playing the Preservers one with
Okay.
Terminators, and I took Purge, and he took behind enemy lines, and then he put 2 Terminator squads and a Strike squad in Deep Strike, and I've got 18 drops with this Necron list. I just spread out. He couldn't get anything in my half the table. So I blanked him on behind enemy lines to the end, and I maxed Purge.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good luck the rest of your day, man.
I hope so.
All right. So it looks like we are trying to clear a little bit of space for what I imagine is this Fire Raptor. We have moved the rubrics. Looks like the 1 rubric unit, and up there to support the 10 Terminators. We got Ahriman coming on over there. So my guess is I don't know, the position they're in, those Terminators could go after the rubrics and start whittling down the small units like we talked about, or they could, with the Fire Raptor, probably take out the 10 Terminators. Yep, that's what I thought. It is coming in right behind. These Terminators are going to protect this Fire Raptor from any non-targeted smites they can. Oh, we're rethinking things. We're rethinking things. Measuring to the Terminators. So maybe he's evaluating, maybe I just keep them further away and have more angles for later turns. We'll see where it ends up. There's definitely a lot of places that make sense. You put them on the left side, you can shoot into the Terminators, but you have your Terminators are kind of blocking for you a bit. Okay. All right, I like this, yeah. So if this makes me think he's going to go after the Terminators, because if he goes after the Terminators, then there's not much that can challenge this Fire Raptor on this side of the table, and then he can just fly back into his deployment zone on his next turn, and then still have plenty of angles at things. Yanked off my microphone. Don't want to do that. I had to step off camera for one moment. I'll be right back. All right. So both players are measuring out, making sure that, and this is, I love this, making sure that we have the range to the things that we want to declare before we start rolling dice, so that both players agree that everything is kosher. Don't have to worry about anyone getting upset after the fact. But we're seeing a lot of things being measured to the Terminators, which makes me think that's Cam's plan, is he wants to take out Arden's Terminator so that he has a Terminator advantage. Arden would only have 5 left that are down there on that objective and can't really go anywhere. So let's see how this goes. I want to see the Fire Raptor shoot some shit, let me tell you. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many dice, and those dice, the Fire Raptor has tons of shots, and all the shots are good. And they're specifically good at killing Terminators, it seems like. They have the right, they're all multi-damage, they all have reasonable AP to start with. For me, the question is, do you start, I feel like maybe, it's a question of what unit do you start with? I feel like maybe you just point the Fire Raptor everything into the Terminators, and then see how that goes, at which point maybe you have some flexibility with your Terminators being able to shoot other things, start whittling some things down, kill those 10 Zangors and those 5 Rubrics perhaps. I think that's the bigger question, is how do you want to sequence this to maximize the efficiency of your turn? Tinfer. You know what, as someone who's never played Chaos in their life, I totally agree with you. I am a loyal servant of the Emperor or the Silent King. But I need a legitimate ruling leader. All right, Armin casting Presage on himself. You've started the buffing phase. I gotta find what all these do. Presage is going to get +1 to hits. I wonder why he's casting it on himself. Yeah, he's putting on Termies. That makes way more sense. All right, Smite on the Terminators just got denied. So here's my thing, Nick. I totally get why Magnus thinks he didn't do anything wrong. My only opinion is I feel like everyone in the Grimdark future has done something wrong. There aren't a lot of innocents in the Grimdark. there's levels of guilt, but I don't think there's any innocence. All right, that's the end of the psychic phase. Quick and easy. I'm a little shocked that we didn't have more stuff happen there. A little hubris never hurt anyone. All right, Sturm Raven into the Terminators. Terminator's in the back right, though, so let me make sure I'm getting this right. Fire Raptor into 5-man unit? I really thought Fire Raptor would be going into the 10-man unit. Let me clear. I'm clarifying with our table spotter. All right, looks like we have a lot of shots from the Fire Raptor. He may be going for what we talked about with the we're going to shoot lots of different things play. Maybe spreading the love around. Yep, he is going for a spread the love. So Fire Raptor into the Rubrics on the left, the Zangors, and the Rubrics next to the Terminators. Or Rubrics next to the Zangors. I think it's doing that and the Terminator. I mean, this makes sense. There's a lot of shots here. So this is definitely, we've talked about this repeatedly. We only killed 3 of those. Well, there's still Terminators to shoot. It's not the end of the world. We only killed 3 Rubrics is a little surprising. We've talked about this repeatedly today. If the Fire Raptor could take out all the kind of peripheral units and just leave the core that wants to stay in the middle of the table, he's really going to start to put stress on Arden's ability to spread around and play the objectives, play the missions. Hey, Tinferg, we're glad to have you. Speaking of that, I do want to take a moment to shout out. We have 2 streams today. We have War Games Live, who is streaming our other undefeated table. Go check them out on YouTube. They have a YouTube stream. They're getting off the ground just like we are. If you have a minute, give them that like, follow, subscribe. You can do that to our channel on YouTube as well. We're trying to get it off the ground. I'll link it in social real quick. No, that's in Discord, not in my chat. We're trying to get enough interaction with our YouTube page that will start showing up when YouTube's algorithm populates people's homepage. So if you have a chance, give us that like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. Do the same for War Games Live. Just trying to show off the high quality competitive 40K that we have to offer here in the Midwest. Curse did nothing wrong. I don't even know what Conrad Curse actually did. He might be the Primarch I know the least about, honestly. Which I guess is, if you're the Night Lords, that's the way you want it. You don't want people knowing about you. You want to be a secret. So maybe that's the whole point. All right, we killed a Terminator here. Looks like we killed some of his Zangors. So we're spreading some damage around, but not as much as I thought. I thought there'd be a lot more happening here. Oh, here's the big shots. This is the big 24 twin quads, it looks like. And again, we still haven't shot the Terminators yet, and they obviously, we saw how much damage they could do from the last turn when Arden shot his. That's a lot of hits. This may be the Terminator shooting, not the Fire Raptor. Oh, Curse killed Vulcan.
We're still in the top of round 2, right?
This is bottom of 2. Yeah. Curse killed Vulcan. I didn't realize it was who killed Vulcan. Okay. All right, well, that was a lot of shots. And we picked up one Terminator. Oh, he was rolling one at a time, I guess, because he had a wounded guy. So maybe he's going to roll some more now. I see Arden getting a bunch of dice together. Curse might have got a little genocide and blown up his own planet. A little genocide. Not a lot of genocide, just a little. All right, it looks like we just rolled on the big 10-man unit Terminators. One, two, and a wound. So we have lost 4.5 Terminators. That guy's got 1 wound left. We've lost 4.5 Terminators so far. Yes, Tinferg, both games are at the same tourney. We have 2 top tables streaming this weekend. Day 1 is just going to be us. Both of us are looking. We're going to be pulling like cool matches or cool lists, cool painted stuff, putting them on camera. Tomorrow we'll be funneling down to the top players, obviously, with rounds 4 and 5. It'll be nice in the last round to have both streams running, because we have enough players that we are most likely going to have multiple undefeateds left at the end of the tournament. So both of the matches we stream will be people competing for first place, trying to get enough points to jump. So it'll be really interesting to see both tomorrow playing at the same time. All right, so it looks like Cam's Termies killed 2 more of Arden's. So that massive roll of dice was the Terminator shooting, not the Fire Raptor. So the Fire Raptor started whittling stuff down, and we see things getting whittled down. There are just smaller units on the board. It doesn't look like the Fire Raptor killed any of them. Looks like everything's still alive. There will be some leaderships perhaps to take. I was hoping for a little bit more devastation. I think Cam was too. For trying to like just completely finish off a couple units. You know, it is what it is. You have to start somewhere. We killed half the Terminators. Can't be upset about that. Well, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell here. Was it better to go for the spread out, or, you know, I have to think if the Fire Raptor had put everything into that 10-man unit of Terminators, with Cam's Terminators killing half, we may have been able to wipe out the 10-man unit. We'll have to see what happens. The Zangors just passed their morale, so the few that are there survive to the next turn, and we are now passing back to Arden's turn. So tight game right now. Hard to say who's winning right now. Both players still have a lot of meaningful units left on the table. I just realized I haven't seen my wife for like an hour. I have no idea where she's gone. She was supposed to go look at something for painting and never came back. Life hack, everybody. Marry a woman who plays 40K. Solves a lot of problems before they start. Our frequent argument that we have at our house is whose turn is it to buy stuff for 40K? Not should we buy stuff for 40K, but whose turn is it to get what they want? Uh, 22-31. Yeah, I mean, with the 10 point that Cam hasn't had yet. Yeah, so I didn't get to watch this game, Tinferg. I played both these armies. I know the Necron player. He's on. I'm on Death or Glory with him, so I can speak a little bit about this. I know the list that Hilla is playing. I have played almost that exact list. I took a double Catan list with Necrons into the Lone Star Open this summer. I went 5-1 with double. It was my first major, so I was really excited about that. And I played Blood Angels in the second round, and Blood Angels have to get close to do stuff. And I don't know what this Blood Angels players list is, but just inherently as Blood Angels, they have to get close. And you don't really want to get close against Catan. And so if you're someone who's experienced with leveraging Catan, it's really easy to start just lopping mortal wounds on. Especially if, like, my Blood Angels list that I play has like double Volkite Contemptor and double Plasma Redemptor in it, to give it a layer of shooting on top of like triple Sanguinary Guard. I don't know if this gentleman has shooting in their Blood Angels or if it's pure melee, as many Blood Angels player play is pure melee. And if you're basically a pure melee list, especially if you don't have a Psyker, which a lot of Blood Angels are cutting in the face of Grey Knights and Thousand Suns, you just don't really have a way to deal damage outside of the melee phase. So it just becomes a very problematic matchup into Catan when you can't like kill them in 2 turns. So I don't know. I didn't get to watch the game, obviously, but there's a lot of interesting, like, if someone's just not playing Catan, and I don't know, there's some really good Blood Angels players. There's several of them in the Art of War Discord that we've talked about a lot. There are certain versions of the Blood Angels list that are like auto wins against Necrons, or they were at one point. I think really optimized Blood Angels lists have good matchups into Necrons. So it's a really kind of interesting game in that the Blood Angels player has to do some very specific suicidal things to kind of make it a raffle stomp. And if they don't do these specific things that are kind of counterintuitive and letting your things die very quickly, it can become a difficult matchup for sure. It's kind of the weird thing. Really good Blood Angels players are very eager to throw away their models if it scores a lot of points. And not everyone likes to do that. And I feel like against Necrons, you kind of have to do that, because you can definitely hold people back from scoring, but all your shit's going to die. What's the best models equipped to shoot an overcharged heavy plasma cannon? I'm not sure I understand the question, Nick. Are you asking what's the best thing to charge into the plasma cannon? Like, if you're asking about my Blood Angels list, like what I was talking about, I have 2 Plasma Redemptors. Oh yeah, the Redemptor for sure. Because the thing with the Redemptor is it just has, you can't get in melee with it with anything elite, because it just anything that's got multiple wounds, it's super good at killing. You can swarm it with little stuff, but then all of its guns are great at killing little stuff. So it's got this wonderful spread of the Plasma and the Icarus rocket can do reasonable anti-tank or elite hunting, which is really what you're trying to do, is kill elite models before they get to you. And then if someone tries to swarm it, you have the Storm Bolters and the underslung Gatling on the wrist, plus just, well, you can't use the Plasma if they're swarming you because it's blast. But like, it can do a reasonable job of shooting out of combat if you swarm it with little things, and it is just the ultimate elite hunter. Just if you have Terminators or 2-wing Space Marines, the Plasma Redemptor is just perfectly equipped to start taking those things out. So I love them. Again, I'm playing a bit unconventional right now, playing 4 shooting Dreadnoughts in my melee Blood Angels list. But I've been having a lot of fun with it. All right, so Fire Raptor got Ori'd this turn. The Fire Raptor is not going to be able to benefit from any modifiers to hit, wound, or damage here. I don't think it has minus damage on anything. I'm double checking. Well, it's hard to hit, so it has -1, so that's going to be ignored. I don't see any minus damage, but we're ignoring the fact that it's normally -1 to hit. So that's meaningful. Smite from the Infernal Sorcerer into the Terminator killed the last one that was on the objective, so now there are no Terminators on the objective in the bottom right. All right, the Termies got a super smite, but it was on Cultists. So they took out 3 Cultists. Never going to complain about a super smite, but I guess from Cam's perspective, at least it was just Cultists. Arben versus Arben casting right now, smiting and denying each other. Yeah, I wish, Tinferg, I wish the Ball Predator still mattered. Unfortunately, just there's no reason to play it right now, which is kind of a bummer. I have seen some people in 9th edition play Vindicators. There was a person I played in against at Lone Star in the first round, and they were almost made it to top 8, and they had a Vindicator in their Death Watch list, which was pretty cool. It wasn't game changing because I was playing Necron spam, but it was just nice to see one on the table. I would definitely take a Vindicator right now more so than I would take a Ball Predator. Unfortunately, I just can't think of a reason to take a Ball Predator when there's just other stuff that you could take for better points or better output. It's really a bummer. I like it when armies have their special, unique models that are meaningful. The Ball Predator hasn't been meaningful in a while, unfortunately. All right, so Arben cast another smite into the Terminators, dealt 3. So he took out 1 of the Terminators, down to 9 Terminators. The rest of the Terminators have moved around the corner to try to hide. Again, there's only 5 left, 4.5 left, or maybe it was 5.5 left. So I don't know if they're going to be able to hide from the Fire Raptor. The question is going to become, can the Fire Raptor get in a place next turn where it has an angle that it wants, that also is not just going to immediately get murked by the Demon Prince? So he's going to have to play around that. There may be a spot there in the middle right side of the board where the Fire Raptor could zip over there, but I bet that I have to imagine that the Demon Prince could still move 12 and then make a reasonable charge. I mean, Demon Prince is in the middle of the table. There may not be anywhere the Fire Raptor could hide. So the best plan of action at that point may be to kill all the things that could hold the middle so that the Demon Prince leaves and the middle's open. Notably, I want to talk about Arden's secondaries again, because I questioned these at the beginning of the game. Arden has made no move to get into Cam's deployment zone yet in his turn 3. He has gotten 2 on banners because he has not, I guess maybe he may be planting a banner in the bottom right. I don't know. I think I'll ask our table spotter. Petra, these Terminators right here?
Yes.
These guys here? Are they, or is anybody, are these Cams or Ardens?
Those are.
These are Ardens.
These are cultists.
Right, are they Cams or Ardens?
Those are Cams.
Okay,
Cam
so
has the like white bases, and Arden has brown bases.
okay, so these Terminators are notably not putting a banner down then, right?
No, not yet.
So we still just have the one banner.
Just one banner.
Okay.
Also, so the Terminator's back. I'll have to go find him on the board over there. I don't think it was.
There's these Terminators here, and there's Ardens are here.
Yeah. So these ones just cast a smite using 7 Cabal points, and then since there was no eligible targets within them, and they cast them on a 9+, it allowed them to regen a model back.
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
Right? I was like, oh fuck me, dude. That's a good
Okay.
point.
All right. So we have regenerated a Terminator,
Yeah.
which is a really cool play. I like that. I didn't know they could regrow people. It makes sense, but I didn't know that, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm just a little worried about the secondaries here. They grew back 2 Terminators. That's huge. 2 Terminators. He spent, his whole turn killing 5 Terminators, 4.5. Getting 2 back's a huge fucking deal. But I still I'm just not sure about the secondaries. We have to assume that Arden or Cam got, it's Petra. I have to assume he got a second rod. And if we're getting one on banners and none on behind enemy lines, if this is turn 3 and we don't get behind enemy lines, like there's not a lot more to do. So we'll have to wait and see here. Maybe he has a spell where he's planning on redeploying at the end of the psychic phase, perhaps. I don't know. That could happen. All right, so Cam opted to not get a rod on his second turn. Instead, he used everything. Perfectly fine. He can still max it with the rest of the game if he chooses to do so. The other thing that I think is very interesting.
Sorcerer's Facade, they'll launch Infernal Sorcerer and 2 rubrics back into back lines or behind enemy lines.
Okay, so this is what we just said. The Sorcerer cast a spell to move the 2 Rubric Marines that did not get killed by the Fire Raptor down to behind enemy lines, which is why I was wondering if that was a play. So we are at least going to get some behind enemy line points this turn. So that matters a lot. I don't know how many times he can do that if we kill those 3 things. So we'll see. The other thing I'm noticing is right around these Terminators, there's 3 characters. I wonder if the Fire Raptor wants to go on an assassination run. Like, the Fire Raptor could just land next to the characters and just... Unless, do Scarab Occult Bodyguards or Scarab Occult Terminators have Bodyguard rule? Let me look. Because they have Bodyguard, obviously it just doesn't matter, and I'm wrong. I don't see Bodyguard. Yep, I don't see any kind of Bodyguard rule. Unless there's some kind of strat that I'm unaware of. So yeah, I'm wondering, so like, again, there's a lot of choices here. I don't know what the right choice is. I kind of would favor, let's kill everything else except the Terminators and let the Terminators just do their thing, because they're not going to be able to go very many places, especially we only have 2 turns left. So I would love to see the Fire Raptor maybe kill the stuff that got behind enemy line. You got to kill that so he does his farm points. He's got to send something else down there. But if we could kill like some of the casting characters as well, that'd be pretty sweet. I also would love to see maybe the Fire Raptor could fly over. We know there's something in the top right holding that objective. Fire Raptor could fly over there, land on that objective, shoot through the wall if he touches the building, and then also maybe kill the stuff on the far side, and just kill all the things. Like, just kill the stuff. We can maybe ignore the 2 units of Terminators and let them do their thing. Looks like we're going for an assassination run. This is what I was talking about, just land next to the characters and try to shoot them. Specifically the Demon Prince, because that's the one that can charge us. I guess Ahriman could charge us too, but we're probably not as scared of him as we are the Demon Prince. Someone used all caps, I'm sorry. We gotta... Assassination run is happening, you're absolutely right. I can never remember how I get into mod mode. Yeah, I think this makes sense. If you fly down here, we can maybe kill if we kill 2 characters and maybe the 5-man unit or the 3-mans that are down there doing the behind enemy lines, yeah, that was definitely a background wall. I like the idea of let's just go on the assassination run. You have assassinate as a secondary. These are things that are going to try to contest it into the game. They're the things that might be able to challenge the Fire Raptor. The Terminators can shoot it, but they're probably not. I don't know if they're likely to kill a Fire Raptor or not in shooting, especially if you take away all the things that can give them buffs. So I like this. I want to see what happens. How's it going, Scott?
Pretty good. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good.
How's the game going?
You know what? We're seeing some Thousand Sons on Thousand Sons violence. And
That is beautiful. Mortal wounds.
Yeah, everyone's just dying. It's great.
Well, you have a great one, sir.
Thank you. You as well.
How's that Fire Raptor doing?
Less impressive than I hoped on the first turn, but he's set up for an assassination run right now.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see if he can kill 2 characters, which would be pretty meaningful when there are Thousand Sons characters. So.
Yeah, those ball points.
Yeah. Oh, is that Brad's?
No,
that's yours?
mine.
Is Brad supposed to be using it? All right, moving these Terminators up. I'm interested. I kind of feel like you just keep the Terminators away. I don't know. Like, you have more Terminators. Well, the other thing is, all right, so if the Fire Raptor can pick off these little units that are protecting the characters, I think the Terminators are technically closer to the character in the back. So that may be a third part of the assassination run. If the Fire Raptor can kill like 2 characters and that little unit that's like poking through the ruins, maybe the Terminators can finish it off those characters. Terminators can also just shoot the unit that's like protruding from the ruins as well. So there's definitely a lot of play there. I am trying to double check. How do I get into fucking admin mode here? All right. No, that's not it either. I can't remember. I'm trying to see how I can like unban people's messages, and I can't remember how to get to it. I haven't done this a lot. We don't normally have to ban people. Yeah. Yeah, I really like what he's done with it. He's leveraged its ability to get to multiple things. My number one rule of how to win most games of 40K is just kill the other person's stuff. Don't even focus on like their good things, just kill their stuff that plays the mission. The Fire Raptor did that beautifully. Okay, so this makes more sense. He's gonna bring the Terminators in to maybe finish his assassination run and then shooting plus melee work on these Scarab Occult Terminators. That I love. If he can pick up 4 characters this turn and start and whittle down the Terminators in melee, then this is a huge blowout. He's got the Terminator surrounded by 4 characters. If we can take out like 3 of them, that's backbreaking. So that's 9 points on assassinate. All your buffs are gone. Your mortal wounds are gone. That's huge. So I'm very into this. I love seeing this Fire Raptor come over here. All right, so Terminators are rotting. Terminators to Arden's Forest are rotting. Interesting. Doesn't mean he has to. So you can rod those Terminators and choose to break the rod by going and charging, and that's completely okay. We'll see what happens. Armin's moved the Scarabs again via psychic power and made it undeniable. I'm wondering if he's saying the rubrics next to the Forest of Rotting, because that would make way more sense. I want to see this Fire Raptor assassinate some stuff, though. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, okay, so the rubrics are rotting. That makes way more sense. Because he's clearly committed to Terminators. So the rubric's in the top left next to the Forest of Rotting, so we're going to get 4 on Rod now. And then we are committing to the middle of the table. So is this shooting phase now? It looks like handful of dice. Following up if there's a shooting or the psychic phase. I feel like this is probably shooting. That looks like more than like a Hellfire amount of dice. Or Hellstorm, whatever it's called. All right, so this is what we thought might happen. The Terminators are currently shooting the Zangors that are behind the hill. Which we believe are the things that are kind of poking out of that ruin above the characters. Trying to do some kind of screening. So if the Terminators can take out all the Zangors, then the Fire Raptor is going to have complete authority to shoot into any characters that it wants to over there. Well, I guess maybe not. No, that Ahriman on the hill is Cam's, I believe. There's Ahriman, the Infernal Master, and the Demon Prince that the Fire Raptor can then do whatever it wants. Yeah, it looks like they're mostly gone, or completely gone. So we should now have complete ability to shoot anything we want to. So Zangor's got left at one model. And it looks like maybe he's leaving the one there to try to, maybe he thinks he's move blocking a little bit with the Zangor. Oh, nope, he pulled that one too. So he has put them somewhere else. Maybe he had more shots and they just picked it up because they knew it was coming. All right, so now the only thing in the middle are the three characters and the Terminators. And those Terminators are not really protecting those three characters from the Fire Raptor at all. So it's time to get some assassination points. It'll be interesting to see how he splits his dice. Obviously, you can spike some invulns. Thousand Suns spike invulns better than most. All right, we're getting word from our judge. So these may be going into Terminators, which that would surprise me a bit. Yeah, some Terminators just took damage there. He may just roll all the dice at once and had different colors representing different guns, and each gun may have been pointed at something different. Clarifying what's shooting these Terminators. We just lost, looks like 3. No, okay, so the same Terminators. Okay, that makes sense. So maybe the Soulfire cannons were going into these Terminators. That makes way more sense. So the Terminators are just trying to clear the chaff. Okay. I was a little worried. I was like, I don't think we want to put the Fire Raptor into the Terminators here. All right. But confirming that the Fire Raptor is hunting characters. Yeah, it looks like we're pointing at characters. So I'm pretty sure the Fire Raptor has gone assassination hunting. If any of you have ever played War Machine, we're on an assassination run right now. So maybe 6 wounds. Missiles into the Demon Prince, gun and heavy bolters into the Exalted Sorcerer. Right now we're rolling on a Demon Prince. Looks like we picked up the Exalted Sorcerer. Maybe our table spotter had that backwards. Because the Demon Prince is still there, and Exalted Sorcerer does not look like it is. Pew, 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 pew. You are absolutely right, Nick. For our orc friends out there, Daka, 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 Daka.
I have returned.
You have. You've been gone a very long time. You didn't even bring me a hot dog.
I'm sorry, I thought you already had a hot dog.
I had a hot dog. No one eats one hot dog.
I don't care for hot dogs, so I'm not sure how that'll.
That hot dog was a good hot dog. Like, that was a high quality hot dog.
All right, better than the pretzel.
Oh, by far.
How's the game going?
It's very interesting. Terminators are just like, both players have like 20 Terminators and you're both just trying to shoot each other. Currently, the Fire Raptor is on an assassination run. The Terminators came out here and shot all the other units, and the Fire Raptor landed next to the Sorcerer and the Demon Prince, just so he could shoot them. So that, we're going to see.
Respect.
Yeah. So Ahriman was back here, we killed the Exalted Sorcerer, and then this is the Demon Prince I believe we're rolling on right now. And then these Terminators, these 10 Terminators that are about to charge Ahriman and these 4 Terminators, or 5 Terminators. So we're definitely trying to clear this out here in the middle. Demon Prince on 3 wounds left. Okay, so we killed one of them, but not the other. You know, it is what it is. Can't be too upset about that. We would love to see the Demon Prince die, but I assume we just put the missile. We put 4 missiles in there. He had 4 up invulns, so we're never guaranteed to kill that.
Yeah, basically a crapshoot.
Yeah. What I'm pretty sure he is counting on is killing Ahriman in melee. Your mic is on, right?
I believe it is.
Okay.
So as far as the paint judging goes, all I can say is all 3 judges had a clear favorite. I won't say which army, but we will all be very sad if this particular army does not win.
Is this person a paint streamer?
No. The paint streamer that I usually watch is in the friendly today.
So they're not competing for the same painting contest.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. I did not know that. Maybe you were talking about some paint quality yesterday. Maybe that had reason to do with it. Not put time into it if it was for the friendly instead of the competitive.
Yeah.
3 per, 4 if one's the Warlord.
You know so many rules.
Play the game, Heidi. It's amazing what you learn when you actually play the game. All right, so we have hit the charge on Ahriman and the Demon Princes. It looks like first Ahriman flew over, so we have Ahriman on Ahriman violence.
What?
It's Ahriman on Ahriman violence.
No, I understand. It's just, that's not a sentence you expect to hear.
Well, this is Thousand Sons on Thousand Sons violence, so somebody did something wrong.
Magnus did nothing.
I said somebody did something wrong. I don't know who, but clearly somebody fucked up in this game. So I think what we're definitely looking for is we want to punch Ahriman to death, finish most of our assassination. If we can take out these 4 Terminators in melee, then that's gravy, because then the only thing left in the middle of the table is a Demon Prince, and that's just not going to be good enough. Like, the Demon Prince is not killing the Fire Raptor and 10 Terminators and Ahriman. You would probably have to go after Ahriman to try to get some assassination points.
Yeah.
Really, really excited to see the reserved play with the Fire Raptor, keeping it in reserves at the beginning of the game to make sure you can get use out of it, deploying it very safely on turn 2 to make a meaningful assassination run on turn 3. Because he kept the Fire Raptor off the table turn 1 in case he went second, which he did.
Yeah, off to the side.
He claimed this quarter of the board with his Terminators and then landed the Fire Raptor right behind it on turn 2.
Okay.
So that he had wherewithal to jump over on an assassination run on turn 3. Very methodical use, not just like, here's my Fire Raptor, which I've definitely seen people do that before.
How many points is the Fire Raptor?
It's like a quarter of the points.
Okay.
It's like 500 or something.
It's a very heavy model.
Yeah. Most of his list is 20 Terminators and a Fire Raptor.
Okay, all right.
That's most
there
of
you
the
go.
list. let's see, the Fire Raptor is 400 points,
Wow.
and then each of the Terminators are 430. So that's 1,260 points right there.
It's like almost a Mortarion.
Yeah.
It's almost a Silent King.
All right, so the Exalted Sorcerer was Arden's Warlord, so they both traded Warlords. He was able to get an assassination run on Cam's Warlord on turn 2, and then Arden, or Cam took Arden's back, so we're on parity there. But if we can kill Ahriman, then we'll be up, obviously. And the thing is, this is it's cascading because each of the characters are so important with the things they can do, mortal
Yes.
wounds and buffs.
Yep.
That losing 2 characters right away is, or not even right away, but 2 characters simultaneously is going to be difficult. Again, Cam has been sticking to my favorite strategy of kill the things. He's not like he's been putting damage into the 10 Terminators, but he's been making sure he shooting plenty of other things as well. We just killed the Zangor in melee. That looks like the one that has survived got punched to death by a Terminator. So now we need to see, do we kill Ahriman and the other Terminators? Alright, Cam's CP was just his last CP was just spent on a reroll. So both players are out of CP for the time being.
They both have thematic dice. I like it.
Both players came with very thematic armies for sure. There goes Ahriman. That's a second assassination. There can only be one Ahriman. Now we got the rest of these attacks. See if we can maybe kill 2 or 3 more Terminators. That would be great. Do these Terminators have Power Fists? They have the Khopesh. Khopesh looks pretty good at killing Terminators also.
2 damage. Ooh, 83.
Yeah, AP3, 2 damage.
That is.
Looks like we lost 1 Terminator. Only 1. Alright, that's fine, whatever. We're still up 9-3 there. Now he does have 5 more Terminators down here at the bottom right, but they're not going to be able to go anywhere because he can't leave that objective. There's nothing else down there. The Fire Raptor made sure to kill those Zangors, so there's nothing else in that bottom quadrant. If he leaves that, he's going to lose the opportunity to get both engage, or not engage, he doesn't have engage. He's just not going to be able to hold that primary. Okay. And he is very quickly running out of things that can hold objectives. How's it going?
Good.
We just watched the Fire Raptor take out basically 2.5 characters by itself.
Fire Raptor's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. He played this one really well. He kept it off the table, brought it in, hit it behind his army on the second turn, and then used it on an assassination run on the third turn.
Nice.
So,
is this Iron Dance?
It's Thousand Suns Mirror.
Yeah. So it's
so killing the characters matters a lot. Yeah.
Right. And Fire Raptor with the invul.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of buffs obviously on it as well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, let's all this roll in. We just roll a bunch of dice. I'm verifying what all those dice were. Maybe there's more attacks from the Terminators that we haven't rolled yet. I don't know what they'd be attacking though. Ahriman's dead, I thought. Doesn't look like anything died. So. Oh, there's something down here in the bottom. Oh, that's what it was. So those are Zangors down there, I think.
Okay, are they just getting shot
Those
at?
are either Zangors or Cultists. A sorcerer teleported 2 Rubric Marines down there to get behind enemy lines, and so they're attacking that.
Gotcha.
They came out to see if they can kill the Rubrics or something.
They got one.
Ugh.
I'm
Yawn.
sorry. They're contagious.
Yeah, so that was the Zangors into the Rubric, sorry. So I'm going to guess under that wall on the bottom left that we can't see, there's probably a 10-man cultist unit holding that objective. Because they're not really going to do much else. So I think we're still waiting on the Terminators, the 3 Terminators to punch back. I don't think I've seen that dice roll yet. Looks like players are talking something out. I doubt they're talking out the game. End of that turn, 48-42 Cam.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so the big jump there, Cam went up to 10 on Assassinate. He was at 0 when the turn started. And that big jump is definitely, he's now, Arden has got his 10 on primary on turn 4, Cam hasn't, but Cam is still ahead, even with Arden getting 10 on primary. So that's not a good sign. We have taken away the ability for Cam, and I've talked about this repeatedly today, Cam has taken away the ability for Arden to spread around the board.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of stuff that can go try to get objectives. Again, he's getting 1 point a turn for Raise the Banners. He can put a second banners down with the Terminators in the bottom right this turn, and that would give him 2 more points. No, 4 more points. Because if he puts it down with the Terminators this turn, he get 2 on turn 5 and then 2 at the end of turn 5 if neither of them comes down. So that's maybe the most points he can get there. I'm not trying to sound critical. I apologize if I do. I questioned the choice of banners at the beginning of the game. I questioned the behind enemy lines. We're seeing his play for behind enemy lines was try to get a teleport. He got it one time. We need to get the points on there for that, I think. Is behind enemy lines 2 units? Or is it just a single unit? 1 unit. Yeah, so Arden's score should be 2 points higher. I'll verify with our table judge. I believe Arden got 2 points last turn, because that was the whole point of that play, was he teleported a Sorcerer and the 2 Rubric Marines that were left down there. But I don't know what else he has to get in the table quarter anymore. And that was my concern, is that this game, there's a table quarter matchup, so you have to be in the bottom right to get behind enemy lines, and there's not a lot of space. You literally have to be in this area.
Ew.
And he definitely doesn't have anything that can get there anymore. So I don't know. He may just not get any more points. I guess it depends on the Zangors. If the Zangors don't kill the Rubrics this turn in combat, and the characters there, they're much better at killing the character. They're character hunters. He could maybe get 2 more, but that'd probably be it. I don't think he's not surviving a 3rd turn. So we'll see. We'll wait for our table judge to respond. But I think he's definitely just taxed right now. He just doesn't have stuff on the table. So we'll see what he thinks he can do to score the most points possible. Cam does have the advantage of going second. He's most likely to be able to score a 15 on the end of the game. But he already held Arden to a 5. So he doesn't even have to score a 15 to win on primary. If he just holds 10, he'll still be ahead on primary by 5. And with the discrepancy in the secondaries that were selected, that may be enough. So these Terminators are coming off this objective. Okay, so Terminators are coming down to shoot the Zangors that the Rubric Marine and the character have fallen back from. Because if they kill that, then next turn maybe we could get. Okay, so he's still gonna hold the objective. He's just moving now where he has lines of sight. And then if we kill the Zangors, then next turn the Rubrics can move forward to get behind enemy lines again. Or they may have behind enemy lines where they are right now. Okay, so we just fixed the secondary. Yeah. That may still be in the table quarter. So he was able to fall back enough. He may have deployed forward enough that if he didn't get wrapped, he's able to fall back enough to still get behind. And now the Rubrics or the Occult Terminators can shoot the Zangors, which they should kill them pretty easily. So that works out.
Monkeys?
Zangors?
Angry monkeys on the objective markers?
Yeah, it's from Flying Monkey Con.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't hate this play then. If we can fall back and still get behind enemy lines and then put the Terminators into the Zangors, that makes a lot of sense. The question I just have is, I don't know if they're on the top half of the table, if Arden's going to have any models on turn 5. Arden might just be left with those 2 units on turn 5. Because if I'm Arden, I'm going to fly this Fire Raptor. Why did our camera stop? Our camera stopped here.
There you go.
Hey, we're moving again. All right. Cool. I fixed something. IT prep or IT prowess. If I were Arden, because I'm assuming we could finish these Terminators and Ahriman, I imagine are a match for the Terminators and Demon Prince. So then the Fire Raptor could fly back here and kill whatever's holding that objective.
Okay.
And then there's just nothing on the top half of the table. Alright, so Demon Prince cast Swelled by the Warp on itself and failed its other power. Swelled by the Warp, I'm going to assume, buffs itself. That's kind of what it sounds like. Termies gave themselves...
Another Termy.
Okay, they regenerated another model. So they're up to 4 Termies. So right now it's 7 Termies to 4. Yeah, 7 Termies to 4. So it's failed by the Warp. Let's see.
Swelled.
Swelled by the Warp. +2 strength, +1 attack. Okay. Not bad at all.
40 championship players, we have hit the last milestone. Should be in battle round 5.
On the shooting. Not a lot of psychic spells left when you kill all the characters. I would just pick up these Zangors. We don't need to roll this. we have less than we have technically 38 minutes left. Just pick up the Zangors.
Let him roll his dice, Lyle.
You don't even need those Zangors. Like, picking them up doesn't change anything. I guess if they don't die, you can kill the character. The thing I'm not sure about is I don't know where the other points for Rod are going to come from. Because Cam opted to skip it on turn 2.
Okay.
And so obviously in turn 3 he had to deploy everything. I don't know if he has any redeploy spells left or redeploy. I think he's definitely already used his Umbralific Crystal. Because that was what he had to stop the game for earlier. I don't know if he's got a redeploy spell still alive. If he doesn't, I don't know how he's going to rod any more table quarters. So he might be stuck at 4. Looks like the Demon Prince is going after Ahriman, not the Fire Raptor, which makes sense, because he gets 3 points if he kills Ahriman. He doesn't get any points if he kills the Fire Raptor. There goes Ahriman. Verifying if that was shooting or melee. I feel like this is melee. He's doing pile-ins right now. This is probably melee.
Doesn't look like the Lasangors got killed.
It doesn't. You're right. Me and my eagerness to just pick up models.
Very preemptive, sir.
Oh yeah, so Armand died to melee, I'm guessing to the Demon Prince. And then he's getting to activate with his Terminators first so the Demon Prince charged, so he gets to go first. But since all the Terminators are already in melee, the defending player gets to go first with his Terminators. So we may not even get to a meaningful attack with Arden's Terminators if there's not a lot left alive. Lost. Did we lose any Terminators? What are we rolling the dice for? One. Oh, we lost.
What?
3 Terminators. He didn't even kill that many in melee when he charged. He killed more on defense than he did on offense. That's not good. That's not what you want. So yeah, I'm definitely on the let's kill everything on the top half of the board plan at this point, and let's just give up the bottom of the board. I don't know what character that is on the hill back there. If that's the character that has the move spell, I would definitely be down to move those Terminators out of combat and just let the Fire Raptor finish everything off.
Looks like 2 more Zankers died in morale.
Okay. I think he's going to just throw him at a character and see if he gets lucky. Like, they're not doing anything else. So I have to think that his plan is to put that Fire Raptor... Nope, I'm wrong. Well, the Fire Raptor... Okay, so if you put the Fire Raptor down the bottom, you could... What is he doing? Oh, you just spin, that's just a spin, and then he's going to figure out where to land it, I guess? Oh, it went into hover mode.
Ooh.
Yeah, so now it can be charged by ground units, but who cares at this point? There's not that many ground units left. The thing that could kill it's already got flying, so it just doesn't matter. So if you put it into hover mode, it can just stay where it is. So that plane went into hover mode? The plane went into hover mode?
I didn't hear him say hover mode.
He didn't move it, so I assumed it went into hover mode. Yeah. Yeah, hover jet. So it lost hard to hit and supersonic, but it doesn't really matter anymore. So I don't know what's in that ruin. I'm sure there's something in that ruin holding that objective. I just don't know what it is. And I'm willing to bet that they've agreed that the plane is like touching the wall in a way that would allow it to see it, maybe. Either that or you're just going to shoot the Demon Prince with everything. So there's rubrics in there. We're verifying if the plane has line of sight to the rubrics or not. Okay, so yeah, the plane does not have line of sight to the rubrics. So this is what it is. I kind of like the idea of flying it over there, shoot the rubrics, put the missiles into the Demon Prince, and try to just say that you have one objective. I like that plan. It's not what he chose to do, so we'll see what happens here. I have very specific ways I enjoy playing 40k, and it's mostly just not letting my opponent do stuff. Which I know is horrible because I hate it when people do that to me.
Yeah. Are you like that in Magic too?
I do like to play control decks. I don't know if it's because I don't like my opponent doing things, or it's because control decks make me feel like I'm smart when I'm not actually. Like, I think that's why most people play control decks in Magic, is it makes them feel smarter than they actually are. As Jeff Hooglin would say, big brain magic.
Ah.
Yeah, Gandalf's thinking they're using their big brains. All right, Fire Raptor's going to shoot everything at the Demon Prince. If it fails any save, it's dead, because all this is 2 damage or higher. It has 2 wounds left.
Really wants that dead, huh?
Assassinate, and it's the biggest threat on the board. The Demon Prince is by far the biggest threat on the board. Killed it?
Yeah.
All right, Demon Prince is dead.
Wipe yourself off.
Yep, wipe yourself off. You're dead. That's the best line from a great movie, everyone. Wipe yourself off. You're dead. Up, and there went the last Terminator. Yeah. I think that they may be at a point where they can start talking it out. Because the only thing on the top half of the board are some rubrics that are holding an objective behind a wall. And I don't know that that's good enough. Cam is pretty much guaranteed to get 15 on primary next turn. There's just not much he can do to stop it.
Are those, is the unit in the upper left-hand corner his as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And both players are going to have a weak secondary, it looks like. But, Cam has 1 weak secondary with Retrieve, the way this played out, versus Arden has 2. We're getting 13 on Assassinate. I don't know where she went. I can update the score. I have access to it. Oh, your current score is your turn over?
Yeah, so I got 3 more points.
Yeah, so you need to add the 3. You should be at 61 to 47 before his turn 5 primary.
Okay.
So you're up by 14 before he scores primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got my.
Oh, but you have a engage also, right?
Yeah.
You should be at 6 on engage.
So I got every turn, so it should be 8.
You have got it every turn.
Yes.
Okay.
Just maybe.
Let me update this then, because this is slightly off. So you should be 8 on engage and 13 on assassinate.
Yeah.
So the correct score then is 65 to 47 before turn 5 primaries.
And he'll get 13 points. So he'll get 3 more points from behind enemy lines.
Or you guys just want to talk it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. So 3 more on, so 2 on banners.
Do you want to write this down before you put it in?
The game 2 on banners.
2. Well, he's going to get 4 on banners, right?
He only has 1 banner.
Oh, I thought the Terminators didn't put a banner up that turn? Okay. So yeah, 5 on banners total. So he should be at 6 for behind, because he's going to do it 3 times.
He's going to do it 3 times.
Yeah. And Assassinate is going to cap at 7.
I'm going to be taking
Do what?
Yeah, 7.
He's going to cap at 7. And then he's getting a 10 on primary.
Yes.
And then your final turn, you're getting a 15.
I'm gonna engage. I'll be able to get a 15.
Engage for 2.
Get 2.
And you didn't get robbed for a 3rd time.
I'll get 3 engage.
Okay. And you didn't get a 3rd rod. All right, so the final score is going to be 82 to 63.
Okay, great.
All right. Congratulations. All right, so kind of what we talked about. Cam worked on whittling down the stuff, took away the stuff. Arden just ran out of ways to play the mission. And, Cam was left with 2 really big durable units, and Cam just couldn't really interact with them in the way he needed to. That assassination run from the Fire Raptor was clutch. Being able to hop over, take out a few small 5-man units, and then boom, 2 characters gone. That was kind of the nail in the coffin at that point. Yeah, that's the Thousand Suns are like old school Blood Angels. Your list is designed around keeping your characters alive to the end of the game. If someone someone in the middle game can kill half your characters, and they still have all theirs. It's a difficult hill at that point. All right, well, we should be starting round 3 sometime between 4:30 and 4:45. Yeah, Thousand Suns won, but more importantly, Thousand Suns lost. So somebody did something wrong. All right, we will see you guys around 4:30, 4:45. We'll have another undefeated match on our table and War Games Live. Their match ended earlier this round. Make sure you do that like, follow, subscribe on YouTube for both of us. I'll again put our YouTube channel. Oh, wait, wrong website. I have too many screens I'm trying to type on. So hit that like, follow, subscribe for YouTube if you guys don't mind. We're just trying to get as many followers for YouTube to get our algorithm numbers up so people can follow or check us out and see our content. War Games Live is doing the same thing, so check them out as well. We'll both be back around 4:30, 4:45 for round 3. So go get a snack.